Good evening, good evening, good evening again, folks. Welcome to tonight's second front load and another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the disclaimers. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign, hold on, that's my pizza. 1 second. Sorry, folks, you're going to find it right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note by the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics. Welcome to my crazy hair. Where they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They've threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. So, folks, if you could, please read that article, share it on all your social media. You're also going to see in there NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case the JRC actually sees through with that threat. We also got in, oh God, sorry, tired, folks. Tired and hungry. Tired and hungry. All right. Also, folks, trigger warning one. When we talk about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center and Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, folks, please go ahead, utilize those headphones. Second trigger warning. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and watching this, very obviously parental supervision is advised, all right? All right, so where we left off last time. The key to the petitioner's all or nothing conception of the FDA's banning authority lies in their interpretation of the phrase legally marketed device in 396. Yes, please do go into that because you still have not shown me how the GED can be in any way, shape, or form construed as a legally marketed device when it's designed for one school and used for a singular purpose and it is not available on the wider market like the SIBIS machine. Please explain it to me like I'm 5. That provision protects a physician's ability to prescribe or administer the device, but only if it is a legally marketed device. According to the petitioners, when the FDA bans a device across the board, the device cannot be legally marketed at all, rendering 396 inapplicable. But how? Why is it inapplicable? Because we're talking about one particular device here, one whose design is completely different from the SIBIS machine that you all continue to try and confuse us with. Why are we not talking about the differences in these devices? Why are we not talking about the fact that the GED, not the SIBIS machine, but the GED is not being marketed on the larger market? Why are we not talking about this? Why also are we not talking about the fact in order for it to be considered legally marketed, it has to be actually approved originally by the FDA? The current iteration of the GED device is not. Again, explain it to me like I'm 5. I also want to argue this. How damaging does a device have to be before it becomes okay to interfere with the practice of medicine? Asking for a few million friends is all. And because the device on the petitioner's reading then counts as a legally marketed device, 396 applies, such that the single use ban impermissibly limits or interferes with the authority of a healthcare practitioner to prescribe or administer the device for the banned use. Okay, here's my question. What doctor outside of the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center is prescribing the use of the GED device? Can you provide me a list? Can you tell me, provide for me absolute proof that there is a doctor that is unaffiliated with the Judge Rotenberg Center that is prescribing the use of this device to treat a patient? Yes or no? Yes or no? You can't, can you? Because there isn't, is there? Let's talk about something else. When you're saying banning it for a particular device, it's considered legally marketed. Well, how is that possible? How can the DC Circuit Court say with a full chest that it is a legally marketed device when that device has not been approved by a single entity outside of the Judge Rotenberg Center? Not only has it not been approved by the FDA, but it has not been approved by any governing body in regards to medicine at all. And if I'm wrong, again, feel free to provide me with the paperwork that speaks to that effect. You cannot sit there and bald faced tell me that you are saying no because it will interfere with a healthcare practitioner to prescribe the device because it's being legally marketed when it's not being used in any form, in any way of medical practice outside of the Judge Rotenberg Center. Okay? So, how's that interfering with medicine in regards to doctors who are not prescribing that device to others? Okay? The upshot reading is that the agency must either ban a device for all its uses or not ban it at all. Again, we are talking, acting like the SIBIS machine and the GED devices, that they're all the same. They're not. Not even on a fundamental design level are these devices the same. Nor do they use the same amount of current in regards to causing painful skin shock. We all know this. Matthew Israel has gone into great detail with great glee and pride about how much pain that device causes the students there. Okay? None of these arguments, even for an individual who looks like they've gone through the evidence, is still meshing. The logic is still not logicking. Because how can a device be considered legally marketed when it has not gone under testing or any form of scrutiny whatsoever from anyone? Not just the FDA, but literally anyone. How can we consider it a legal marketed device when it is not actually being marketed anywhere else but the JRC? To say, but we can't keep doctors from prescribing a device or it for treatment, or it's considered, interfering with medicine, when there's not a single doctor that you could name for me that you can show me has prescribed, not the SIBIS machine. Stop with the bullshit. Stop. trying to tell me, but they prescribe the SIBIS. These are not the same devices. All right? Stop with the nonsense. Tell me, what doctor outside the JRC is prescribing the GED device for use in treatment of a patient? If you cannot, then what are you even talking about? Even for one who's trying to actually show me that they went through the evidence and can rub two brain cells together, the argument still doesn't mesh. The problem is, A, you consider a device legally marketed that has not gone under any kind of form of scrutiny, not just from the FDA, but literally from anyone. Okay? You are then still trying to tell me that this device that is only being used in one place, that somehow it is going against physicians' rights to tell them that they cannot use this device when it is not literally being used anywhere else in medical practice but the JRC. Okay? We're going to go ahead and close out on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time tonight. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you in just a moment.